He's placed certainty into you. He's placed that all-knowing, all-encompassing, I am every woman mentality in you, and you just have to bring it out. Welcome back. I always get really excited to talk to you. Like, you actually have no idea how much I look forward to filming days, and I'm actually starting to get into a little bit more of a groove. So I really hope you like the next couple of videos that I'll be making. We're talking about insecurities and just overcoming obstacles in our life, all through the lens of faith and divine intervention, and just making the most out of every single day and being grateful for the present moment and being mindful of the world around us. So if you like content like that, go ahead and subscribe and like this video to let me know that you also like content like this. I've received a couple comments just asking if we can talk a little bit more about how to overcome insecurities in today's superficial, hypersexual world, and I could totally identify with this, and I'm excited to actually talk about this. But I want this to feel a little bit more like girl chat, and I might give a little bit of tough love, so just bear with me, because I promise I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just here to help you not go through the same things that I had to go through. So I want to read to you the definition of insecurity, but I just want you to hear the words that really define what it means to be insecure. So by definition, insecure means not firmly fixed, liable to give way or break, of a person not confident or assured, uncertain and anxious. Some adjectives are self-doubting, hesitant, unassertive, shrinking, shy, timid, passive, introverted, anxious, apprehensive, worried. So off the top, right? I remember growing up in a predominantly white neighborhood, and I always felt this way. I was always insecure. I never really felt like I fit in. Even parts of my family, I kind of felt like I didn't fit in just because there wasn't a lot of knowledge around the Black experience. There wasn't a lot of conversations around the Black experience in my immediate family. And when I would see my cousins and things like that, I felt a little bit more connected to that, just different parts of my heritage. But I told you guys in a previous video, like, I have my hair relaxed, you know, I've just constantly always been in a place where I just had a lack of knowledge. And I think when you lack knowledge and awareness, that's when you become uncertain. It wasn't until I went to college that I really started to learn about my hair and just so many different things that make me me, and finding friends and community in that process. So the first thing that I want you to really focus on as we think about how to overcome insecurities is to just learn more about yourself. Become more connected with you. If you're struggling with finding your purpose and who you are, I honestly would love for you to just try a whole bunch of different things. Things that people might suggest for you to try, but then also things that you would have never thought to ever do a day in your life. Pottery, going to a rock concert, skydiving, like parasailing. Just do something that gets you out of your day in and day out comfort zone. This is going to start making you more aware of your interests and the things that you like to do, and not necessarily being crafted by society or crafted by social media. If you're constantly scrolling and all you see is girls at dinner, like doing this and that and putting on shoes and dresses and whatever, and maybe you can't afford to do that, or that's not really your vibe, try something else. It's okay to be different. Like, it's actually really great to be different. And I feel like this community that we're building is a community of women that like different things, want to do different things, are Renaissance women. They love to just, I know, at least for me, I've talked to so many of you that genuinely love the arts and love the creative aspect of life and love to express yourselves in different ways, and just to be able to be expansive in your interests and learn more about yourself. I want us to focus on that first. The second topic that I really want us to think about when we're trying to overcome insecurities in today's superficial world, where there's just so many things that are kind of being thrown at us for how we're supposed to be and how we're supposed to present, is remember your guiding light. Remember that God calls you into a very specific ask, and that is to be kind, to be patient, love thy neighbor as thyself. There's so many things in scripture that guide us to exactly how we're supposed to present in this world. And I think this starts to get into a place where we might actually interact with people that don't have a similar faith journey as us. And we might even be in relation with people that don't have a similar faith journey as us, or our parents don't necessarily see Christ in the way that we do, and things like that. When we're in those spaces where we're tasked to walk in our divine faith and walk in our purpose, I want you to be very clear on how you want to present in the world. When you've locked in on your faith journey, I want you to walk in that journey and know that as you are a child of God, He has literally placed life into you. He's placed certainty into you. He's placed that all-knowing, all-encompassing, I am every woman mentality in you, and you just have to bring it out. He just wants you to bring that out. And it's not that you're looking for anything. You're looking for something that's already within you, and you just need to bring it out. So I want you to just be very certain within yourself, because your plan and your path are already written. Your story is already written for you. Your divine destiny is literally already written, and it's so amazing and it's so beautiful. So there's really nothing to worry about. And if you are genuinely facing challenges in your life, right? Like, Eliana, I'm struggling with finances. I'm trying to help my kids get through school. I'm trying to get myself through school. I'm trying to just be a good person for the people around me. I'm trying to show up for myself. All of these things, right? I'm trying to find my life partner. I understand there's things in our paths that just simply don't seem clear. But when I tell you God has already written your story for you, and all you have to do is live, all you have to do is be present and mindful, and to give and be of service each day, everything will fall into place. Faith without works is dead, right? So there's certain things that we want to make sure that we're harnessing, whether that's continuous knowledge, or just asking for help if we need it, or researching on YouTube if you're trying to find a new hairstyle, or if you're trying to learn how to budget, or you're trying to learn how to time manage. I actually just posted a video about time management and building consistency, so definitely check out that video if that's something that you're struggling with. But just know that your story's already written. So anything that you try, anything that you want to pursue is all great. It's actually perfect. It's actually so perfect that it's divine, and it's exactly what you're called to do. Okay, so remember I said I was gonna give you a little bit of tough love. Number 3 is recognize the areas in your life where you would like to improve. Now, this doesn't mean someone tells you that they hate your nose and you go get a nose job. Okay, that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm saying is, if you go see your primary care physician, or if you practice more holistic medicine and you look at your body and you look at your health and you look at your skin and your nails and your hair, and you think about your fatigue levels and your energy levels, and you're just not feeling like you're at your best self, I want you to think about incremental ways that you can improve these aspects of your life. So let's say that you genuinely have come to the conclusion through your self-awareness that maybe you need to lose about 10 pounds, or maybe you need to gain 10 pounds, or maybe your diet doesn't really reflect the energy levels that you would like to have. Maybe you're not eating for your blood type. I like to eat for my blood type. I can talk a little bit about that if you're interested, but maybe there's just something that is within your control that would make you feel better about yourself. I would encourage you to just take time, hop on Pinterest and maybe find a workout routine. Hop on YouTube and maybe do a 10-minute HIIT workout. Maybe join a Pilates class and maybe sign up for ClassPass. I'll put a link in the description. Maybe sign up for ClassPass and join a group exercise class and Maybe you meet friends through that kind of help you on that accountability journey. I think it's important for us to be very self-aware and recognize just the little things that we have control over that are going to help us feel better about ourselves. And again, it's not because somebody told you. It's not because a man told you that he thinks you're overweight or whatever. No, it's not because you scrolled on social media and you saw a girl that had a completely different body type than you and you just feel like, okay, well, now I need to go look like that because that's what garners a lot of attention. No, none of that. You taking time to be by yourself and to journal and reflect and say, how is my health right now? How is my mental health right now? Is it time for me to dive deeper into scripture? Is it time for me to book a counseling session? Is it time for me to see a therapist? Is it time for me to just be more vulnerable and be more open? You guys know that's my entire journey, is just about being more open and more vulnerable. That's the whole point of me even being on here and having these conversations with you. I'm walking you through my journey in real time. There are some things that are in our control, and it's okay to just take a step back and say, I can improve on this. One aspect about overcoming insecurities that I think is really important for us to talk about is perception versus perspective. Perception is basically how we view the world. It's through our lens. It's through our own experiences, through our own trials and tribulations, through our own traumas, through our own joyful moments. That's our perception. It's the way in which we see the world from our point of view. When we look at something from a perspective point of view, where it's kind of like a bird's eye view. So we have more knowledge and awareness, strategy. We have more emotional control, emotional intelligence to be able to see things from a broader lens. And when we're thinking about overcoming our insecurities, it's really important for us to think about perspective versus our own individualized perception. It's so easy for us to walk into a place of looking at things from our own perception and saying, well, if he thinks I'm ugly, then I need to go change everything about myself. If she looks like that and I look like this, then I need to go look like her because she gets more attention. If they make videos like this, then I need to make sure that I look like that and I make videos like that so that way I garner the same results. And that's just simply a false reality that we're living in. And it's okay, because sometimes our perception is needed. We need to be able to recognize and acknowledge how we feel in certain moments. But the problem becomes when we disregard perspective and we move off of perception. Then we start getting into territory where we can't even put ourselves into somebody else's perception. We can't put ourselves into somebody else's shoes. So that's why perspective is everything, and just kind of taking a deep breath in, getting that perspective and saying, okay, as I look around and as I look on social media and as I look around in the real world, when I actually look outside, like if you stop watching this video and you look outside, is anybody just like walking around with a Birkin or walking around with a whatever? And no, nobody's doing that. That's not reality. Okay, number 4 is probably my absolute favorite thing to do in the entire world, which is self-care. And I know the words can be a little bit redundant and kind of overdone in today's world, but I am the biggest believer in a really relaxing nighttime routine. And this includes journaling. This includes a guided journal, and I'll put a link in the description, that really helps me go through and evaluate each day how I'm improving on my goals and my dreams and my vision for what I would like my life to be. And it also includes a nice tub bath or shower and, you know, my favorite body scrubs and my favorite oils. And I just recently posted a whole video on kind of like how to look feminine and all the products that I use and all that good stuff. So definitely check that out. I just think pouring into the body that God has given you, pouring into the mind that God has given you, helps you create that robust relationship, and you really get to feel that sense of self-knowing and all-knowingness. And I really love the concept of being connected with self, being connected with your own body. I think that really changes the way that you view yourself, because when you know yourself, nobody can tell you anything about yourself. When you know who you are, nobody can tell you anything about who you are. When you know where you stand, nobody can tell you where you stand. When you know your security level, when you know how you're showing up in the world, when you know how you want to dress, when you know how you want to talk, when you know what you want out of life, nobody can make you feel insecure about it, because there's no uncertainty. There's nothing to rock your cradle. There's nothing that can make you kind of like waver from your purpose, because you know you. So I love a good self-care routine. I think it's more than just the physical things that we do. It's more about just taking that time for yourself and being kind to yourself, being warm and appreciative and gracious to yourself. It's about accepting yourself for who you are at the core, accepting your character for who you are. And like I said, it's a journey, right? Like, I still fall into moments of insecurity, especially when it comes to posting. I've noticed that with YouTube, I've found such an incredible community, and I love when you just share your journey in the comments, and I love when you tell me your stories. And this has been such a warm place for me. But on Instagram, and even sometimes on TikTok not as much, but on Instagram, I'm still trying to find my voice, and I'm still trying to figure out how I can share some of these tips over there. And it just feels like it's a completely different community. So I'm working on how to just walk in that certainty and how to walk in that divine purpose, because I know this is where I need to be. I know sharing tips and tricks with you and building communities of vulnerability and openness, that's what I want to do. So as you reflect and you think about the things that you want to achieve, I encourage you to just pour that concept into yourself each day. Take the time to also write down the lifestyle that you want. One of my favorite creators, Jazz Turner, she talks about journaling a higher self day. And basically what this looks like is you taking a journal and you dating it for today, and you write, I prefer to do this at the end of the day. So I will write as if I've gone through my higher self day, which is basically documenting the perfect day. So I'll say, today I woke up and I was able to sleep in a little bit longer than I normally do. So I woke up around 9 o'clock and I grabbed a nice cup of coffee and I went out on my balcony. And as I was overlooking the water on a nice crisp day, because I love I don't know why, but I like cold weather. As I was just taking in the nice crisp breeze overlooking the water, which honestly in my head is giving like Hudson River vibes. So watch me end up in New York one day. But just as I'm overlooking the water, I take in the nice cold breeze, and I, decide to get a nice shower and then head to Pilates. And I just keep going through the day, right? And I just document the perfect day for myself. And as I'm writing it, I think it's a little bit more of an affirming concept. I think it's more about affirming my plan for myself. It's about looking at my plan and saying, I see it. It's about looking at my plan and saying, it's been written. Number 5 is going to be personal affirmation videos, podcasts, music, whatever that looks like for you. I want you to walk in a space of affirming yourself and affirming the person that you are. I think the hardest part about overcoming insecurities when we're living in a super superficial world is that we've been curated to think that social media is the reality. And I'm here to tell you, some people, they're really living that lifestyle, okay? Like, some people are really making money. They're not living off of anybody else. You know what I'm saying? You could feel a way about that. You might feel a way about that, and it is what it is. But a lot of people are not. So it's not the full reality. You're not getting the full scope of somebody's journey, especially on social media. So taking the time to pour into yourself, to get on YouTube, listen to positive affirmation videos. I can put a couple links of the ones that I like to listen to. And then affirming podcasts, affirming conversations with your friends. If you wake up in the morning, I kid you not, and you text one of your friends, good morning, I hope you have an amazing day. I just want to let you know, if no one's told you today, I think you're the most incredible human being. I kid you not, it's going to make your friend's day. And I bet she is gonna say something super nice back that's really gonna affirm you as well. Or she honestly might cry because she probably hasn't heard that in a while. Taking the time to pour into others, to be of service, just to love on each other, love on the people that are around you. I've noticed that I've become a lot lighter since I've been more open and vulnerable. And recently I started sharing my content with my mom, and she was like so obsessed. And I never really thought to be even that expressive with my content with my family, because I'm just like, I'm talking about femininity and like soft skills. And, you know, like my parents are very big on education and being well-versed and well-rounded. So just to dive in on something so specific because I'm so passionate about it, and then to share it with people that probably didn't even know I had this passion, I think is always kind of an interesting take. But I'm so self-affirmed, and I believe in what I'm doing, and I believe in you and this community that we're building, and I believe in continuing to bring you answers that matter. I just have found that positive affirmations have really changed my life. So hopefully this wasn't too long-winded. These are my 5 tips to help you overcome insecurities in today's superficial world. If any part of this video stood out to you, feel free to leave a comment. That way I know what you like, what you didn't like, anything that I might have missed, and I will see you in the next video. Love you. Bye.